Okay, we are working on chapter 26 in this video, and what it's asking you to do here is just find all of the multiplication factors that you would use to multiply to get this number. Okay, so these are your factors. 1 times 8 equals 8, 2 times 4 equals 8. So if we did 12, it would be 1 times 12. So it's always 1 times the number. Okay, so 1 times 12, and then it would be, there's 3 more, so we would try 2. I always like to do them in order, so that way we don't miss any. So if you already did 1, then the next number you should try is 2, and 2 times 6 definitely equals 12. And then we try 3, and 3 times 4 equals 12. So those are 3 factor pairs for 12. And you do the same thing with the rest of them. Okay? Okay, over here on the next page, it says how many pennies equal 8 quarters? How many pennies equal 8 quarters? Well, we know that 25 pennies, okay? Oh, let me put it over there so you guys can see. So it does say how many pennies equal 8 quarters, and then we know that 25 pennies equal 1 quarter. So if we multiply 25 times 8, then we will get 8 times 5 equals 40, 0, carry the 4 over, and then 8 times 2 equals 16, plus 4 is 20. So it's 200. Okay? Okay, this one says, Lauren found 12 quarters on the playground. How many cents did she find? So we know that each quarter is equal to 25 cents. So we would just multiply 25 times 12. Because each quarter is 25 cents, and it's asking us how many cents she found, so we have to find the cents. And we know that each quarter is 25 cents, but we have 12. So we just do this. It's 2 times 5 is 10. Put our 0 down, bring over the 1. Why does it go over? Remember, because we just made a 10. This is the ones place, so that wouldn't go here. It has to go over to the tens place. Okay, then we do 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Cross off our 2, cross off the 1, we already used those. Put our 0 to make sure that we're in the right column when we start multiplying our tens place. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. And then we add all of that up. 0. This is 10. Carry the 1. This is 3. So 300 cents. We put our cent sign. Okay. Okay. Number 13. It says Patty is planting 12 peonies in her garden. Describe all the ways she can arrange them to form a rectangle. Okay. So if she's trying to make a rectangle with the 12 that she has all together, then remember the factors of 12. She's going to make a rectangle. It could be this long, and it could be 1 here. The width could be 1, and the length could be 12. Okay? So it could be 1 times 12, and this is just doing the factors. Kind of the same thing we did here for this one right here. Remember, we did 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. So over here, it's the same thing that they're asking us to do. So we can do 1 times 12. And then after the comma, we can do 2 times 6. And after that, we can do 3 times 4. And this is one of our rectangles. The next one can look like this. Okay, 2 and 6. The next one can look like this. Almost 3 and 4. Okay? And that can be her little planting rectangle. So that's what you do there. You're just putting in the factors again, the factor pairs. Okay, over here we do some more factor pairs, more of the same thing. Over here, let me see. Okay. Okay. That's more of the same stuff. Okay. Okay. So this one I like because it asks you a question. Okay, so it says Molly has 5 quarters. Does she have enough money to buy a toy that costs 95 cents? So first we have to figure out how much money Molly has. Then once we do that, we can answer the question, does she have enough to buy that toy? So we have 5 quarters. Each quarter is worth 25 cents. Okay? And if we have 5, we multiply that by 5, and we get 5 times 5 is 25. We put our 5 down, carry over the 2. Because remember, this is the ones place, and we just made 2 tens, and we have to put them in the tens place. Okay, now we do 5 times 2 is 10. We add 2 to that, and that is 12. And we get 125. So, okay, so she has 125 cents, which is really equal to $1, okay, and 25 cents. Okay, so does the toy cost 95 cents? Does she have enough? Yes, she does. She has more than enough. So the answer is yes. Okay. 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 Okay, we'll do some of these. Okay, over here. So it says regroup and multiply. Okay. So regroup and multiply just means when you're regrouping, you really are just multiplying. It just means that's when you are bringing your tens over, bringing your hundreds over, because you made a 10 or you made 100. So when you do 423 times 57, okay, and this is what it looks like when you regroup. You do 7 times 3, and that's 21. So the 1 goes there because that's in the ones place, and the 2 goes over here. So you're regrouping, you're bringing your 10 over. You made 2 tens, they have to be in the tens place, okay? So we can't do this, we can't put the 2 there because that would be wrong, okay? This 2 is not in the ones place. It has to be in the tens place because it is 2 tens that we just created, okay, when we multiply these two. Now we have 7 times 2, that is 14. 14 plus 2 is 16. We bring our 6 down. We carry over. Okay, we just did 7 times 2. So when we carry over, we bring it over here. Okay, because it always has to be to the number next to the one we just multiplied. We did 7 times 2, so it carries over to this one. Okay, now we do 7 times 4. That's 28. 28 plus 1 is 29. Okay, and we finish multiplying our ones place at the bottom by every number on the top. So now we can cancel all of these, and then we can place our 0, okay, so that when we start multiplying our tens place, we put them in the correct spot. We don't want to put them here. They are not ones. This is the tens place. So we do 5 times 3 is 15. We put our 5 down. We carry over our 1. Okay, that one goes here because we just did 5 times 3. Okay, so when we, whatever we multiply on the top by, we carry over to the number next to it. So we did 5 times 3. The number over is this 2. So that's where we put our 1. Okay, now we do 5 times 2. We just did 5 times 3. We have to do 5 times 2 and 5 times 4. So since we already did this one, we'll go to 5 times 2 is 10. We add this one that we just carried over. So that is 11. We put our 1 down, we just did 5 times 2 plus 1 equals 11. So we put 1 down here, we carry over the other one. Okay, 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 1 is 21. 21. We just bring it down. And the reason we bring it down both digits is because there's no other number at the top to carry over. If we had a 1 here, then we would carry this 2 over here, but we don't. Okay, so there's no more numbers to carry over, so we just bring down both digits. That's the only time you do that, when there's nowhere else to carry over to. Okay, 1 plus 0 is 1. 6 plus 5 is 11. We put down the 1, carry the 1 over here. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 1 more is 11. We put a 1, carry over the 1 here. Then we have 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 1 again is 4. And then we bring down the 2. And then we count from the back. 1, 2, 3, and here goes our comma. Okay? So that's how we do these. And a lot of students have been asking me, they just say, Miss Heidi, I don't have space. So do all of that. Look how long that problem is on the board. I don't have space here. Look at how little bit of space they give you. Okay, well what I would like you to do is instead of doing it right here and solving it right underneath, then you can do this. It would be great if I had a pencil right now. Oh, I do have one right here. Okay, so what you will do, one second, guys. Okay, what you will do is you can bring this problem over here, solve it over here. 423 times 57, and then look, you have all this space to do that. Okay, and over here, if you write small enough, you could fit one problem, you could fit another one here at the bottom. Okay, so you can fit about one problem here, another one down here, and then you can fit another one here, 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 another one here. So you have space for all your problems, okay? Just put them off to the side like this, okay? That way you have plenty of space and you're not trying to squish everything in there. Because when we're doing all of these different additions, subtractions, addition and multiplication, and regrouping and all of these things, then it's very important for us to have enough space for it to be neat. So we don't put our numbers in the incorrect place, so that we understand what numbers we wrote down and they don't look kind of squiggly and sloppy because we didn't have space. So just move them over to the side and solve right here, okay? There's 6 problems here. If you did one to the side here, one to the side here, one here, one there, and then a few more at the bottom, you would have plenty space to get them all done and have and be able to solve them. Okay. Okay. Something else here. Over here, how many cents? Remember, when you're doing these, just remember how much is 1/4. Okay, because that's what we always do. How much? Oh, this is looking a little blurry. Hold on. That looks way clearer. I hope it wasn't like that the whole video, but sorry guys if it was. So yes, back to this. So remember, how much is 1/4? Just like we did before when we were doing feet or we were doing any kind of measurement. How much is 1/4? 1/4 is 25 cents. Okay, so since we know that 21 is the number they give us, right? But we have to multiply that by 25. We know that because 1/4 equals 25. So if we want to know how many 25 cents, 1/4 equals 25 cents. So if we want to know how many cents 21/4 equals, then we have to multiply them by how much 1/4 equals, and then we'll get our answer. So over here we would do 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. Bring down our 0, cross off that 1. Move on to the tens place. 2 times 5 is 10. Bring down the 0. Carry over the 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. And then we can add. And that's 525, which equals, well, they have it in cents. But if you think about it money-wise, there's only 2 digits that are for the cent sign, and then this right here. So if you're multiplying cents, this would be like $5.25. But over here they just want it in only cents, no dollars. So you just put, for this one it would be 525 cents. And you don't have to put the cent sign because they already have the word for you there, but that's the sun sign, in case you were wondering. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, okay. Over here we have some good review. This is something that's very important to know. Anytime you have subtraction, and I will do the one that needs borrowing, because those are always the funnest to do. So 600 minus 104. Okay, so we're going to do this one off to the side. That's number 15 over here on page 364. So we have a 4 here. It says 0 minus 4. We only have nothing. We have 0 things. So we have none, and we have someone's asking to borrow 4. Since we don't have any, we go to our neighbor and we say, hey neighbor, do you have something? He's like, actually I have 0 as well. Okay, so we go to the next neighbor and he says, I have some. Okay, so I'll let you borrow 1. What is this place value? This is the ones place. This is the tens place. This is the hundreds place. So when we take 1 away, okay, what we're doing is we are bringing it over. We take 1 away and we're bringing it over here to the tens place. We're not going to bring it over here and jump over, okay? So we bring it over here, and now that we're done doing that, let me erase these arrows so it doesn't get so confusing and messy. Okay. So now that we took 1 away from the 6, it became a 5, and now we have this 1 in front of the 10 that we got from the 6. So, okay, that's great and everything, but I still can't give my neighbor the 4 items that they want. I still have 0. So I'm like, hey, looks like you got some stuff now. I sure do, sir. Okay, I have some stuff. 6 let me borrow 1. So now I can let you borrow. So this gets canceled, crossed off. This becomes a 9. And this is something that a lot of students get confused, okay? So make sure that when you take 1 away from the number all the way to the right, and there's 3 digits like this, or more than 3 digits, it gets transferred from here, whatever you borrow, to the number right next to it. Then we can transfer to the following number next to it. But you can't transfer from here and just skip this guy and go directly to this guy, okay? You have to transfer to whoever's next to you and then to whoever's next to you. It's kind of like playing hot potato. Hot potato, hot potato. You don't just skip someone, right? Because they're like, hey, where's my turn? I'm playing too, you guys. Okay, so make sure you don't skip anyone. Okay, so you took away 1 from the 6, that became a 5. You gave the 1 to the 0 in the middle, that became a 10. You took away 1 from the 10, that became a 9. Now we're finally going to give it to this guy who wanted it all from the beginning. He wanted it all along. Okay, now he's got it. 10 minus 4, that is 6. He can finally give some to his friend. And then now this one can too, because before the middle number wasn't going to be able to give anything else out either, because it was also a 0. But it doesn't have to give anything out, so it just stays a 9, because it's 9 minus 0, that's 9. And then 5 minus 1 is 4. So our answer is 496. Okay. Okay, this is some more review. Remember, they just have the shaded part. I guess the shaded parts and the blank parts are equal. So it just has the part, so you can choose whichever one you want. You can either put the shaded part at the top or the non-shaded part at the top, because they're both the same number. For example, this shaded is 1, that unshaded is 1. This shaded is 2 pieces, this unshaded is 2 pieces, and so on. This shaded is 2 pieces, this unshaded is 3 pieces. So it doesn't matter which one you choose, it's going to be the same number. So the top number for your fraction has to be one of whichever one you choose. So if you're choosing the shaded, then this one would be 2. Okay, and then what goes on the bottom of fractions? What goes on the bottom of fractions is the total amount of blocks. Okay, so this is the part, and this is the total. Okay, so if we do the total, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Okay, and then once you start doing these, you can kind of see a pattern. It would be 1, 2, 3. What's that going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, it's going to be 4. And then this one is going to be 2, 4, 6. So what is that one going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Perfect. So then you start to see a pattern, and you can fill it out that way, or you can still keep going and counting how many are the parts and how many are the total to fill in your tops and bottoms. Okay? Okay. Okay, I like problems like this, like problem number 20, because these are two-step problems and the students tend to have a hard time with these. So it says Tara had 13 quarters. Her mother gave her 6 more quarters. How many cents does she have? Okay, so what usually students will do is they'll say, okay, 13 quarters, so I'll multiply 13 times 25 because 1 quarter is 25 cents, and then I'll take the 6 and I'll also multiply that by 25, and then I'll add them at the end. But we can do it easier, and we can just add them first and find out how many quarters she has total before we even go to the cents. So it says she had 13 quarters. Her mother gave her 6 more quarters. How many cents does she have? So before we even find out how many cents and multiply by 25, first we do 13 quarters that she had plus the 6 quarters her mom gave her. So 13 plus 6 equals 19. And I know that because I know my addition factors of 9, and I know that 3 and 6 equals 9. So all I have to do is just put the 9 because I know these already, and then I just bring over my 1. So that's easy peasy if you know your 9 factors for addition. Okay, so now we have the total quarters. This is total quarters. Okay, so that's the total amount of quarters that Tara has. Okay. So now that we have the total amount, now we can go ahead and figure out how many cents. Now we can take 25, and we always try to put the bigger number on top because it's just better that way. It works out better. Okay, so 25 times 19, because we have 19 quarters, and each quarter equals 25 cents. Okay, so we do 9 times 5, that's 45. We do 9 times 2, and that is 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. Okay, we're all done with the 9 because we multiplied it by both numbers on the top. Okay, we're done with the 4. We already added that, and then we bring down our 0 to make sure that we're in the correct column, and then we start with our tens. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. And now we can finally add them all up. 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. And 2 plus 2 is 4. So we have 475. Okay? And that one is for number 20 on page 364. Okay, let's see. We have some more of the same stuff. Okay, this one is another one. I've seen a lot of students get these kind of questions, and they kind of get a little confused. They're like, I don't know what to do with this one. Okay, so this one, number 20 on 366, says, Rhonda sneezed quietly 11 times. Then she sneezed loudly 3 more times. Her brother sneezed only 5 times. What is the difference between the number of times Rhonda sneezed and the number of times her brother sneezed? So her brother sneezed 5 times. We know exactly how many times her brother sneezed, okay? But Rhonda's is kind of separated between quietly and loudly. So we need to combine them first, okay? And when you combine something, that means add. Okay, so she sneezed quietly 11 times. Okay, that was quietly. Then she sneezed loudly 3 more times. Okay, so altogether, she sneezed 14 times. Okay, that's how many times Rhonda sneezed. Her brother only sneezed 5 times. So this is Rhonda, and this is her brother. Okay, so we'll put R for Rhonda, B for brother. And then it says, what is the difference between the number of times Rhonda sneezed and the number of times her brother sneezed? So the difference, when we're finding the difference between two numbers, the difference means subtraction, okay? It's very important to learn these key words when we're reading word problems. Subtraction is always the difference. It's not always the difference, but the difference is a huge one that indicates subtraction, okay? So since we know that, okay, well, the difference would be 14 minus 5, okay? And we could stack it or we could solve it to the side depending on how comfortable we feel, because if we don't feel that comfortable, then we would have to, yeah, it doesn't matter, whichever way we have to. So what I like to teach with this is that if we're subtracting 5 from 14, then remember that 5 is just 1 more than 4. Okay, so if we take the 4 away, we're taking 5 away, but if we break this down into 4 plus 1, the 5, right, in our head, okay, we can take away the 4, and then now we only have to take away a 1 from this 10, okay, because this is really, 14 is really 10 plus 4, okay? So if we take away this 4, minus, these cancel out, then now we just have to do 10 minus 1 and we get 9, okay? If that was confusing, then it's okay to ignore it. Just know that it makes it way easier if you can do a little trick like that. So 14 minus 5, if you're trying to take 5 away from 14, and you know right here you have 4, but you just need 1 more, just know that these numbers break out into 10 plus 5. Not plus 5, plus 4. 10 plus 4. 10 plus 4 is the same as 14. So if you take 4 away, now you only need, okay, 1 plus 4. Sorry you guys. So if you break these out into 14 equals 10 plus 4 and 5 equals 1 plus 4, then you can subtract these, and these 4s, 4 minus 4 is 0, okay? And then since these cancel out, now we only have 10 minus 1, and that's a 9. Okay, you just know that 5 is just, if we take 5 away from the 4, we don't have enough. We just need 1 more. If this was a 5, it would just be 0. So we need to take 1 more away from this big number, and if we take the 4 away, it becomes a 10, and if we take 1 more, which would give us the 5 that we need to subtract, then it would become a 9. Okay, so if that doesn't make sense to you, then you can continue just solving how you would normally solve, but this is my favorite way. So it's really good for you, good for nice mental math. Okay, so you see this is a lot more review of what we've already done. Same thing here. Okay, and that is all. So alright, you guys, that's the rest of that video. That's all done. Alright, thank you.